This is Miss Hughes again, and today we are looking at tree diagrams with replacement. So, very, very useful technique is to draw tree diagrams in order to answer probability questions where more than one thing happened, where a process is repeated or where two things are selected. And you've seen tree diagrams before. They generally, in order to start them, we always think what could happen. So, we've got 7 blue counters and 4 yellow counters in a box. A counter is removed at random, its color is recorded, and it is placed back in the box. That is very, very important. This process is then repeated. Find the probability that the 2 counters will be the same color. So we're going to do this with a tree diagram. It is possible without, but you do need to know the technique of drawing a tree diagram, and sometimes they will specify that you have to draw one. So we always have to think what could happen. So a counter is removed at random. What could happen? Well, it could be blue or it could be yellow. Now, I cannot stress enough how important it is that you label your tree diagram really, really well. So at the end of the branches, we always put the possible things that can happen. It can be blue or yellow. The probability of it being blue is 7 out of 7 plus 4 is 11. Probability of it being yellow is 4 out of 11. All right, suppose this has happened. The first one was blue. It was then placed back in the counter. So now I'm going for the second process, experiment. It could be, again, what could happen? I could get a blue or I could get a yellow. Now this blue one was put back in the box, so I've still got 7 blue ones out of 11 and 4 yellow ones out of 11. Same with the other one. I could have picked a yellow one to begin with. It was then placed back in the box. So for the second counter, we've still got 7 blue out of 11 and 4 yellow out of 11. All right, always make sure that this is correct. You could even make it even more detailed by putting here first counter, second counter. And now we can answer the question. So find the probability that 2 counters will be the same color. So for that, we need to look at possible roots. You're always looking at roots that give you the same color. So this root gives me the same color, and this root gives me the same color. Now, if you remember, we want probability of blue and yellow. So we want the probability of, blue and blue. Which for that we need to multiply these two probabilities. We want probability of this and this. Remember, and is do not add, multiply. So probability of getting a blue followed by a blue is 7/11 times 7/11, which gives us 49 over 121. But we could have got yellow and yellow, so probability of yellow and yellow is 4 out of 11 times 4 out of 11, which is 16 over 121. Now, to get the same color, we can have this happening or this happening. So we're going to add those two together. So the answer would be that plus that, which is 65 out of 121. So the very, very essential things to get these questions right. First of all, draw your diagram carefully. As you go along the branches in this direction, you multiply. We multiply along here, and then once you've got your totals, you add. Okay, that was the end of the podcast.